What is up? Thank you for coming to my channel, Prison POV. Shout out to the members of the channel. Shout out to the Point of View crew and Trip on This. You're not going to believe what happened. It didn't happen to me, but I feel involved loosely because Sue is kind of involved loosely. So I'm kind of piggybagging her looseness into this crazy story that just happened, homeboy, this thing to my neighbor. So crazy that here I am sharing it with you. So I mean, trip out on this though. So my neighbor was driving down the road and seen a little tiny kitten. Little tiny helpless kitten on the curb. I mean, who wouldn't pull over and snatch it on up? Keep it safe. So she pulls over, grabs his kitten, gets in her car, has a passenger. Someone is riding shotgun with her. I don't know who it is. I don't know why they're there. But hey, she has someone riding with her and she tells them, hey, hold this kitten. Don't let it go. This kitten I just rescued on the side of the road. And then she takes off and her passenger lets go of the kitten. And it starts running all over the car. By now she's on the freeway and they're freaking out. Oh shit, this cat. But then the kitten goes up under the dash and buries itself and hides itself to the point where she is off the freeway, almost makes it home, pulls over, tries to lure the cat out. Cannot get the cat, so calls the fire department, because don't they save kittens? And the fire department came out and ripped her dash apart, and now the car won't even run. And they still did not get the cat. The kitten is still up in the dash somewhere. They got food, they got water, they're trying to lure it. But I mean, I got one thing to say. Blah. Bro, I'm glad that did not happen to me. I'm glad I'm not more involved to the point that, you know, what happened to me. Had Sue done that, come walking up, said my car's down the street because the cat's up in there and the dash is off, I would just be livid, home bizzle. Alright, so trip out on this though. You know what? That's crazy. You know what else is crazy? Is I went to get glasses this morning. I went to the dollar store. I want to load up on glasses because I need specs to see my text, to do comments on YouTube. My eyes have gone to shiznit over the years. My eyes and my hearing, dude, that shit just falls apart. I don't know where it goes. It's on the decline, and so I need glasses. And it seems like whenever I need glasses, dude, I can't find them. Like, for instance, now, if I needed a pair, I'd be asked out. I don't see any glasses. I go to the dollar store to load up, and I'm looking at the glasses I want to buy, and I can't even read the front. I can't read the cover, the packaging of the glasses. My eyes are just going crazy because I need 1.75. I don't know if that's considered a prescription. I don't know what exactly that is when it comes to glasses, reading glasses. I like the 1.75. The 1.50, see, okay. The 200, not so well. 1.75, my cup of tea. But I couldn't even read. The packaging and all the glasses, it was blurry when I was looking for 1.75. Dude, where you at? So just get on with the story. You know, I like to open up a little tidbit, icebreaker, get the blood flowing. I believe we're there. Now, this video is 3 stories, homeboy. 3 bullies who end up getting bullied in the end. Got a little taste of their own medicine. Now, I must say this. A little bit of a snarf. Views have been just a tad bit low. Just a little light in the ass. The views have been a little shy of the mark. I mean, I feel comfortable with 5,000 views per video. You know, sometimes I go past that. When they're at 45 or 4 even, I get a little bit sad. Snarf. I just want the views to be better. But you know how we can compensate for the low views? We can come together, and I just wish more people would become members. That's where my heart's at, the memberships. And I'm going to start doing some crazy members-only videos. But then again, I hate it when one of my YouTube channels that I like to watch, one of my favorite channels, I'm running through and I'm not a member myself, and I notice they have a video that looks badass, but it's for members only, and I'm like, ugh, maybe I should become a member. So I don't know if I want to make you guys go, ugh. That's why I haven't really done it yet. But I got to look out for the members, man. My bad, non-members. Anyway, be that as it may, member up, subscribe, like, and all that good shiznit. Let's get on with the first story. I'm in Kern County Jail in pretrial. And there's this dude there. He is brown. I guess we can start with that. I mean, he's either Hispanic, maybe half white, half black, never did figure it out. And he was weird, though. He was socially awkward. This dude was just slightly askew. He just wasn't... Bro, socially awkward is the best way that I can describe it. Just standing around chatting with the fellas, he wasn't so great at that. Just kind of stood out and just kind of like... So, like I said, he was brown, could have been Hispanic, Asian, don't know what he was, but he adapted himself and he hung out when he first got there with the Southsiders. That's who he chose to run with, that's who he was kind of kicking it with. And they end up like shunning him. Southsiders will do that. They get a little bit picky. They don't let just like anybody into their car. If there's some goofy, socially awkward cat, that they might not let him in. If they think that he's just dead weight, that they're going to have to carry him, if he's going to drag down their appearance, make them look bad. It's like they shun that fool. I mean, just like trip on this though. When I was at Mesa Verde CCF doing a violation, I had to go to R&R. I can't remember why. I think I mailed some money off my books. Well, there was a dude there at R&R when I was there signing some paperwork. R&R is receiving and release. That's the first place you see when you come into prison. It's the last place you see when you're leaving. It's receiving and it's release, homeboy. And there was a dude that was being released. He was leaving. And he was a Southsider. And his deal was that Mesa Verde, it was not set up for any sort of handicap. ADA, American with Disability Act, was not set up for it. And this dude had a cane. I don't think he really needed a cane. He really kind of fucked himself by getting it, in my opinion. For instance, he was not allowed there at Mesa Verde. They told him to kick rocks with you and your cane. I think he only got it because, maybe you could hit somebody with it. It's cool to have a cane to do curls if you get a water bag. Somewhere along the line, someone asked him, you want a cane? He said, yeah. And the lower bunk crawling, homeboy. So he's got this cane. He gets to Mesa Verde, and they say, you can't be here with that cane. And he's trying to be like, well, I don't want it. It's okay. I don't need it no more. Look, I can walk good. I'll walk in a straight line. Jump up and down, tap my nose, turn in the circle, do the alphabet, homeboy, and they just were not trying to hear it. You're dipping, we're sending you back to Wasco. And he's like, fuck, man. Well, they still had tobacco on the main line. So as I'm signing my paperwork and leaving R&R, and I hear him telling the cops, like, man, that's fucked up, I don't want to leave, this and that. And he gets my attention, he's like, hey, bro, they're making me leave. They're kicking me out of here because I got a cane. I'm a Southsider. Go tell the Serranos on the yard to make me up a clavo of some tobacco that I could take back to Wasco with me. So I say, okay. I go to the yard, and I get it some Serranos, some Southsiders. I say, hey, you have a homie. He's down in R&R. They're making him leave because he has a cane. And he wants you guys to get a clavo together. And I'm like, well, who is he? Who is he? I was like, I don't know his name. I don't know. I tried to describe him. An older dude. I didn't see no tats that would identify him. I don't know where he's from. He has a cane. And they weren't feeling it. They sent a couple dudes to go down to sneak into R&R and look, get a visual. Who is this guy who wants a clavo? And they end up shutting him down. They end up not giving him a clavo. He did not suit their purpose. He was dead weight, brothers. Like, who the fuck is that? Some old man with a cane wanting a clavo from us? Charlie Holmes. So they shun the old man with the cane. And when I'm a pretrial, they shun that dude who tried to join their car. And they said Charlie Holmes. So they kind of just defaulted and was like hanging out with the whites. You know how that happens. Now he's just like the woods. Southsiders kicked him to the curb. He's hanging out with the woods. Well, this dude, he made these badass, give credit where credit is due. I will give him props because he made these badass roses, flowers. He would take the top ramen wrapping, and he would take the green chili, for instance, and that would be the stem. And beef is a red wrapping. He would take the red, and that would be the rose. He would get yellow if it was, a different flavor for chicken. And he would have different color flower and roses. And they're about this big. And, dude, they were top notch. They looked really good for some straight up jailhouse thrown together with top ramen wrapping, top ramen package, flowers, bro. And they even had like a clear plastic around. You know how roses will be wrapped in the clear plastic? Even had that going on. They were cool. Flowers. Hell, I even bought one. Sent it home to the ex-some boy who hasn't wrote me in 3.5 months. She out there fucking my brother. She needs a flower. Hey, why come you haven't written? Here's a flower, a real nice flower. I paid $1 for it. I wasn't really chippy, But anyway, there was this other dude there with us. And he was a Southsider, but he was small. He was a really, really small guy. I get the feeling that he didn't grow properly in the womb. This guy I'm talking about. I mean, I changed characters. I was talking about the dude who's kind of weird. he made the flowers and he was socially awkward. Now I'm talking about this youngster who was real small. He didn't grow properly in the womb. He was even kind of slow mentally, but the Southsiders did embrace them into the fold. Even though he was like small, but at least he wasn't social awkward. He had some macaroni on his homeboy. He knew chicken shit from chicken salad. He was in the game, and they liked him. They let that little homie into the car. He was a Southsider. Well, one day somebody went up into that little dude's cell to get, I don't know, they're going to get a pencil from him. They're playing pinochle, whatever the case may be. He was in a cell reading a book. They say, hey, little homie, you got a pencil? And they go in there, and he goes, yeah, it's by my bed. And they go by the bed, and they notice that there's like 12 of those flowers. 12 different of those little flowers that other dude makes. All different colors. There's yellow and red and orange. And he had like 12. He had a bunch of these flowers. And so dude who was in a cell getting a pencil sees him, and immediately, I don't know why he thought that. It's kind of like an assault on this little homie's character, but immediately he assumed he just stole them. Because he's like thinking to himself, when he just thought quickly through the scenario, like he's not buying them. This dude doesn't go to the store for that much money. I know he's not buying them. Hey, you must be stealing these. How does he have these flowers? And he asked him, hey, how are you getting all these flowers? Why do you have all these flowers? You don't even know 12 people. Homeboy, what are you doing with these things? What are you going to do with them? And he goes, no, I buy them off that fool. He goes, you buy them? What do you buy them with? He goes, my lunches, my sack lunches. He's like, I give him 4 sack lunches, and I get 1 flower. And the dude who's in there getting the pencil is Cricket from Shafter. Might as well throw him out there. He's a good dude who's doing 3 years for a... Throw him. Anyway, Cricket is hearing that he has to give up 4 sack lunches for one of those punk-ass flowers, and he is pissed. And let me tell you what, bro. We're starving in there. Unless you're going to a store and spending fat. Even if you're spending $20 a week, that's really not enough to cover it. You're still going to be starving. I think it's how they feed you at 3 a.m. for breakfast and then 3 p.m. for dinner. So after 3 p.m., you're not eating nothing else till 3 a.m. My boy, they had to adjust that. I think like a 7 a.m. breakfast and a 7 p.m. dinner be much better. Adjust it a little bit. Dude, 3 a.m. is way too early. And 3 p.m. is too early for a dinner, dog. Be that as it may, starve Marvin in there. It's probably why this dude was trying to hustle him and make this little youngster who didn't grow properly in the womb. His brain didn't develop properly. He was a little slow, but everyone liked him. He hustled him. He's making him give up 4 sack lunches for a punk-ass flower. That ain't worth shit. Maybe a buck, maybe a suit. Well, the Southsiders heard that, and they grouped up, but they didn't group up long, and they decided to go in there and just slap that fool around. It's kind of funny because he, like I said, he went in there and he tried to be a Southsider, a Sereno Southerner, and they shunned him, so he kind of hung out with us. But when it was time to get his ass, they didn't come talk to Wood to say, hey, see, Wood, is he kicking it in your car? He needs to be disciplined. Let's figure out who should beat him up. No, they didn't go through none of that. They just probably felt entitled due to the fact that he got over on their little homie. They knew he wasn't really a Wood. He's just car hopping. He's just trying to get in where he could fit in. Dude, they went in there and slapped him around. But worse than that, they made that guy give up his lunches every day. Henceforth, that dude was making the flowers never seen a lunch again. After that day, lunches were no longer a thing for him. He had breakfast and he had dinner to look forward to. Lunch, what's that? He has no clue. Because every time he got a lunch, he had to hand it off to that little homie who he ripped off and said that he had to give 4 lunches for a punk-ass flower. And they crumpled up all of his flowers, all of his flower-making material, threw it away, slapped them up a little bit, and said, no more flower making for you. You can't be trusted. You're a hustler, you're a scammer, and you're on hush status. Just quiet your mouth. Just go sit in the corner somewhere and just shut up. Dude, the next story is almost identical. Cayete way. Apologize, hate to do that to you, but it's pretty identical. But it's different enough to be enjoyable. It's not a carbon copy. But dude, you be the judge. Trip on this. I'm on the farm. There is this things called PM Snack. And dude, I wanted to do a video on PM Snack for days. In fact, it's written in the notes. I have a piece of paper with all these potential videos and titles, and right amongst those, homeboy, is PM Snack. For days I've been wanting to do a video on PM Snack, but again, it's one of those things. What am I going to call it? PM Snack? Late night snack? Fighting over bologna? Getting it on and dirty for a cheese sandwich? I mean, I don't know what to call it, bro, but I gotta call it something because, dude, there's definitely good stories when it comes to those PM snacks. What the physics of PM snack? On the farm. Come to think about it, is it only on the farm? I don't ever remember a pre-trial or Max Meat handing out PM snacks. Maybe they do. This took place on the farm at around 7 p.m. They'll say over the microphone, PM snacks, PM snack, come get your PM snack. If the nurse filled out a piece of paper and said that yes, you do qualify, you have a PM snack coming. And all it is a punk-ass cheese sandwich and an orange. It's for people, I believe, who are diabetes, who need that sugar boost. They give them the orange. It's for people who maybe are low weight. They need more calories. People who, have sicknesses, illnesses. Just judging by the line. When they say PM snack and people start running down there getting in line, it's a bunch of people, more people with canes, crippled people, people that look too skinny, too pale, too thin, kind of shot out, not real healthy. Dude, the nurse said they need like a little bit extra. This stayed issue, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I made that sound like one word. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Coyote way! Sue's out there talking to the neighbor about the cat that went up in the dash. I guarantee it. Dude, that's a current event. Dude, we gotta quiet these dogs down real quick. Okay, so good old PM snack. Good old cheese sandwich and an orange. If you qualify, if the nurse says you're jacked up, you need some more calories, whatever the case, homeboy, at 7 o'clock, they say come down to gate 1, and you're going to see a bunch of people jammed down there. Well, I'm in barracks 6, I believe. I might have been in barracks 5. It was up on a hill, homeboy. And I'm in there, and there's this youngster, this Wood. Everybody likes him. He's 18. Again, he's real small. I'm getting the impression he didn't develop much in the womb. Fetal alcohol syndrome, maybe just a touch of it. Again, a little bit slow. I'm getting the impression that he didn't grow properly. Not only in his body is stunted, but his brain. A little bit slow, a little bit small, but a good dude. Homeboy, he had some macaroni, more macaroni than cheese sauce. He knew chicken shit from chicken salad. He was up on game. He was a good little youngster. People took him into the fold. Huh, Chucky? Good old white dude. Well, he got the PM snacks. Well, then we start noticing that there's this older dude who's done a grip of time, a bunch of tattoos, been around the world once, talked to everybody twice, been coast to coast on a piece of toast. This older dude, homeboy, with his peacock tattoo and his brusha, he starts hanging out with that little youngster, little small guy who didn't develop much in the womb. He gets his PM snacks. The older dude, when I say older, 45, 50, a lot older than the dude getting the PM snack, who's like 18. Not very often you see an 18-year-old hanging out with a 40, 45-year-old. Doesn't really work like that. 18-year-old dude didn't really have much friends, and the 45-year-old dude, we all looked at it like, hey, you took him under your wing. That's respectable. Because they were out front and doing pull-ups on the mop ringer thing, and they're doing push-ups, they're getting little burpees. They're hanging out, spend a little time every night. What it is, after dinner, in between dinner and that, back when they had night yard, before they cracked night yard, there's like a nice little hour. And it's when the sun is setting, it's a little bit cooler. That's when people would walk the mini yard that were shut in with the fence, homeboy, a chain link fence. People would work out in the mini yard. And that's what this older dude and this guy with the PM snack would be doing every night before yard open. There they are working out. And we just thought that's really cool. This old man took this kid under the wing. And he's working out with them. And he's showing the ropes and he's showing some love. But then, bro, let me just say this first before I go into this part of the story. You don't ever want to get caught doing something shady. You don't ever want to look sneaky, bro. If you do something wrong, just do it boldly. Just do it boldly, and if you get caught, you caught. If you get caught, you get caught. At least you're bold. At least you represent it. At least you claim it, homeboy, and you're down for yours. Don't be that guy that's under a blanket doing something kind of sneaky. Because this older guy, after they call PM snacks, and we noticed the little smaller dude who didn't develop much, go down there, get his PM snack, and he comes back, and if someone sees him, just throw it to the older guy. But it wasn't really the toss that got their attention. How when the youngster came back into the yard, they haven't quite opened up yard yet. And when he came back into the mini yard, the old guy was standing there by their little pull-up bars where they hang out, and the youngster tossed him this PM snack. It's in a plastic bag. But the toss isn't really what got people's attention because people seen it. Remember, no one misses jack shit in there. Everybody knows. It might take them a minute. They might miss it the first day, but bro, people are hip to this skip. It wasn't the throw that got everybody's attention. It's the way he grabbed it and fucking tucked in the cut and hit it. Like, what? Now you see it, now you don't. He got it from that dude and he like, whoop. Like he was, just got a handoff from the 10-yard line and was about to run it in. And dude, he hit it and tucked in the cut, put it up in his shirt. And people like, what the fuck? And then he went into the dorm. And when you go into the dorm, here's the bed area. And then here's the shitters and the shower. And then make a hard left, homeboy. Boom, bank left, there's sinks. And there's like a big old dividing wall because there's beds over here. So people followed him into the dorm. It looked suspicious how he grabbed the bag real quick. And then he went into the dorm. So they followed him back and he was back in the sink area eating. Real quick. Trying to be real sneaky to snack it. And they're like, what are you doing? And you go, what the fuck are you doing, bro? And you they save it. You'd probably lie to us anyway. We're going to talk to the youngster. Hit the youngster up. Dude, what are you doing, bro? Why are you giving that dude your PM snack? He's charging me my PM snack to train me. Tell me the Woods weren't pissed, bro. Tell me the homeboys weren't madder than a 10 motherfucker. Dude, that older dude with his brush on, his peacock tattoo, was charging this poor little guy a PM snack, which he needs. Obviously, a nurse signed up on it. Obviously, a nurse said, dude, this dude needs a PM snack. And if you look at him, you can see he's undersized and underweight and under probably vitamins and nutrients. He needs the extra calories a night, bro. That's why the nurse gave it to him. And this old guy is charging him, bro. Dude, they fucking beat his ass. Then later on, he was sitting down and watching TV, and they came up and fucking, boom, hit him from the back and knocked him out. And then wanted him to wake up and go in the bathroom and fight this one dude one-on-one, and they were mad 'cause he wasn't waking up fast enough. Where are you at with that? Where are you at with coming up from behind, knocking a dude out as he's watching TV, and then telling him, get up, go in the bathroom, but he can't hear you because he's knocked out. Like, get up, dude, get up. And like, this motherfucker better get up. Get your ass up and go in the bathroom. Dude, he's knocked out. You just knocked him out. Sorry, he can't hear you. Sorry, not sorry. Give him a minute. At least he wasn't doing the snore thing. Whoa, you don't want to hear the snore, the death snore. Knocked this fool out. When he finally came to, went in the bathroom. He had someone decided they want to fight him one-on-one. I'd already been jumped. People do that. It happened to me. One time when I got in a fight, and some other dude said, well, I want to fight Splinter. My turn one-on-one. I was kicking heroin, fought him on one-on-one, then got jumped, had a broken nose. It was a blast. So, dude, this dude got his ass whipped. But then not only that, he never saw another breakfast tray. Never again. For henceforth, he went to breakfast and had to give his breakfast tray to the little youngster with the PM snacks. For punking him out, PM snack, for hustling him and charging. You're going to charge a little wood, a little homeboy to work out his PM snack? I'd rather see you charge him his lunch, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. The county issue that everybody gets. The PM snack is like above and beyond. That's what almost like medication a nurse says he needs, homeboy. He needs it for his health. Scandalous as fuck to take that from him. They beat his ass. He never got a breakfast tray after that. And I literally saw, in front of my own eyes, I saw him slim down. Get skinny, homeboy, and lose weight. Right before my very own eyes. From that breakfast tray, homeboy. Dude, it trips me out, though, how some people go in there, myself included. You think you're starving, but it's actually it's enough calories to keep you alive. And even if you're working out, to even grow. It's a trick going out in there, eating county issue, maybe a couple extra soups, you're getting commissary, and actually growing because you're working out. Like, how am I growing when I'm fucking starving? It doesn't make sense. But it happens, bro. But trip on this. I'm at CMC West. There's this dude from NLR there. You see the disdain in my voice? It's not for the NLR, it's for this dude. Cowboy. Could not stand him, not even a little. This dude just thought he was a badass, homeboy. All the way from his flipped up hat, to his brush up, to his state Levi jacket with a one button. Cowboy from NLR. But I never seen the NLR anywhere on. And I looked. I looked as much as I could look without it being like, Splinter, why are you looking at that guy? I mean, I gave it like, as I passed by, I looked the best I could. Without it being obvious. And I never saw NLR on him at all. And the reason why I said I looked without being obvious, because I've looked before and been obvious. And people said, dude, why were you staring at that dude? And I was like, well, he said he had something. I was like looking for some tattoos and markings. They're like, oh, okay, it was pretty obvious. So then I tried to not be obvious, but then, you didn't see it. I didn't see it. This cowboy dude thought he was a bad motherfucker, bro. And always at prison, there's always going to be that dude who's older. He thinks he's tough. And he has like 3 or 4 or 5 youngsters hanging around him. First termers. They just love this dude's stories and love his stilo and his OG. He's been there and done that. Been around the world once, talked to everybody twice, coast to coast on a piece of toast. Where are you at? They're just really liking this dude's style. He's been to the shoe. What's crazy about old cowboy from NLR, which I don't even think he was, he carried a banger on him everywhere he went. That's my symbol for, like, banger. That's hand language for got a banger on him. Hey, homeboy, he had everywhere he went, he carried it. But the thing about that is, everyone knew it. He made sure you knew it. Every time I walked a prison yard and I had a banger on me, no one knew. I thought that's how you're supposed to do it. I thought you're supposed to definitely move in silence when it came to your weapons. Why would you want anyone to know? You don't want a potential enemy to know you're strapped up to that effect, and they may match your energy. Just like I think of tons of reasons I can sit here all day long and do a whole video on why you would want people to know. But no, this fool let everybody know. And while we're talking about prison shanks, let's derail and talk about another quick story real quick, and I'll come back to old cowboy. But I can't help myself because I was thinking about this story, and it's real quick. For my first term, Central Valley MCCF, I'm kicking back with this fool, and he goes to do some incline, inverted, shoulder push-up military press. So his feet are up like this, and he's all inclined. He's doing this thing, and his banger, his shank drops on the ground. So I grab it and pick it up, put it in my pocket. I go, hey, homeboy, I got your piece. He goes, thank you, brother. Thank you, little brother. He's an older dude. He did his workout, kept working out, and I kept getting close to him, looking around for a cop. I had my hand on it. I was like ready to hand it off to him as soon as he gave me the sign, the universal sign as to hand it off, like, relay, let me get it, pass it this way. And he never gave me the hand it over sign. Instead, he gave me the, like, I don't want it sign. And I got the sign like I'm ready to hand it off, and he's like, he wouldn't take it. I ended up following him all over the yard, dude. And like, bro, you gonna take, yeah, hang on real quick, little bro, hang on real quick. And it's like I held his piece the whole yard. You don't want to be some dude carrying out some other dude's weapon. Hey, here, hold this. I'll get it from you if I need it. If one of us is going to get in trouble, it's going to be you, homeboy. Carry that, get that case. Bro, be that as it may, we learn, don't we? Because years later, it's crazy how it works out. I'm a Wasco reception, but I was on A side, A-yard reception. Don't matter, homeboy. But anyway, same thing. But this guy's doing sit-ups. Inverted, feet up in the air, some crazy old sit-ups. And dude, his piece falls out on the ground. I just put my foot on it. Hey, homeboy, your piece fell out. I got it. Foot's covered it. It's here ready for you when you want it. If he would have got up and just walked away, so would have I. It's not important to you. It's not important to me. But never again will I pick up someone's piece and just put it in my pocket. I got it. Let me know when you're ready for it. Because they're not going to be ready for it until it's time to use it or go into the yard. So be that as it may, homeboy. So I told myself I wouldn't get distracted, but I did. Cowboy let everyone know he had that piece. Which I think he tried to intimidate people. So maybe people think twice stepping to him. I don't know. I cannot get in his head and think why he would let everyone know. Anyways, there was this dude from Fresno that cowboy from NLR picked on a daily basis, bro. Made him the butt of every joke. Just did him dirty. And this dude from Fresno wasn't no slouch. No one could figure out why he let cowboy treat him and talk to him like that. And even his own homeboys from Fresno would be like, dude, what's up with you? Why are you letting that fool talk to you like that? I don't understand why you don't come across as like a pussy, a mark, a bitch, a trick. I mean, you don't come across by none of that like a weak, lame, knack. You seem pretty solid. He was a baseball player, bro. You know how many baseball players I met that got hands? I mean, if you could throw a baseball, it's pretty much the same motion as throwing a punch. Dude, they work out, homeboy, and they're active and run around. Dude, baseball players are tough, bro. I'd put them up against someone who knows Taekwondo any day. I would put a baseball player up against someone who knows Taekwondo any motherfucking day. So this dude from NLR always put this dude Fresno down. All with the baseball player just put him down, made him the butt of the joke, and just clowned him. And then everyone kind of just quit fucking with that Fresno dude. They tried to pump him up to get him to come at Cowboy with some strength, homeboy, to come at him, match his energy. Dude, why you let him treat you like that? He just let it continue, so people start kicking him to the curb. But then one day, don't you know? And dude, I'm so fucking mad because I missed it, man. I would have loved to have seen it. They were in the dorm. The Fresno dude, he was a porter. His job was a porter. So he's in there cleaning it, and Cowboy was going by and messing up his floor. Dude just did the floor, and Cowboy walks by with some muddy boot, does something, disrespects it, he cleans it again, he dirties it again, he cleans it again, he dirties it again, and then finally baseball player took off on him, sold on him, knocked him the fuck out, bro. Knocked him out. Knocked him all the way out. Knocked him on his ass and knocked him out. And then when Cowboy started coming to, what do you think he did? What do you think he do? Reach his hand in his jacket pocket, try to pull out that old piece he carried everywhere. Oh, poo bud, he wasn't going to use it. And someone standing there said that he just went to go kick the piece out of his hand, which he did kick the piece out of his hand. But he kicked the piece out of his hand, then he went right forward and just kicked him right in the face. Knocked him out all over again. Cowboy got the blues. After that, no one fucks with Cowboy. He looked like a total lame. I mean, when you get punched in the face, and especially by a white boy, and the first thing you do is grab your shank, you look like a bitch, dude. They should need a weapon. I mean, come on now. That's supposed to be for riots and other races and crazy shit. You don't pull that out on a one-on-one with another white dude, bro. And then afterwards, people try to set it up or run back a fight. Of course they did. You know, people were stirring the pot. You know, people are like, dude, we need to get a one-on-one fight between this baseball player from Fresno and Cowboy, the so-called lowrider. Let's see that one-on-one. Fresno was down, baseball player was down to play, and Cowboy said, Charlie Holmes, I'm good. I want to squash it. And no one fought the Cowboy for that. Not even the 5 little youngsters that rallied around him and was his cheerleaders and was like, Cowboy's great. So be that as it may, I'm going to post every day the rest of the month. I think we have 8 more days, videos every day. Dude, join up, be a member. I'd appreciate the physic out of it if you'd be a member. But if you can't, at least give me a shout out in the comment section and a like. Much love. I'm a cut string, let it fly. Peace.